My power has no end. This truth is deep within you, even when the storms of life tried to hide it. I am the one who created you, the one who has been with you even when you felt alone. I have seen you fall, struggle, and cry in private, hiding your wounds from the world, but never from me. Now, I speak to you gently, with the firm love of a father who cares. You have suffered enough. I know how heavy your soul has felt. I have heard the sighs that never turn into words, the thoughts that gather like dark clouds in your mind. But do not think for one moment that you are forgotten, or that your tears have fallen on barren ground. Every tear has been collected, every one has been counted. Nothing you have gone through has escaped my attention. Even when you felt like my silence was abandonment, I was holding you. I never stopped seeing you, never stopped caring for you. I, the eternal God, have been with you every step, even those taken in fear. I ask you now to place your trust in me and hold on to a calm patience. There is an appointed time for everything under heaven, and your time for restoration is close. What you have lost has not been the end, but a transition. What has hurt you has not been meant to destroy you, but to show you a strength you didn't know you had. I allowed certain things, not because I enjoy your pain, but because in my eternal wisdom, I am forming a character in you that will stand firm through future trials, a heart that will find peace in chaos, and a faith that will remain unshaken, even when everything around you shakes. From the moment you opened your heart to me, my plans started to work in your favor. Even when you couldn't see it, my angels were sent. Powerful forces have come against what I have prepared for you because the enemy knows the great blessing I am about to release into your life. That's why the conflict has been so fierce, not because you are alone, but because what is coming is great. An invisible battle has been raging, and you have been at its center. But do not fear. I am your shield, your strong tower, your refuge when you face trouble. I ask you not to let sadness take root and stay as a permanent guest in your heart. Do not make an alliance with pain. The enemy wants you to believe this will last forever, that this is your final portion. But I tell you, that is not true. Stay away from the voices that weaken your faith, those that try to pull you into hopelessness. Don't feed your thoughts with words of doubt or with those who have lost sight of my power. Instead, surround yourself with those who remind you of who I am, with people whose faith ignites yours, with those who point you toward my word and not toward fear. Everything you need is not a temporary fix, but a constant connection with me, which is the true source of your strength. I have seen the heavy burden you carry. I know every thought that has disturbed your peace, every worry you've carried, even for your loved ones. I know that this struggle doesn't only affect you, but also your loved ones, your home, and your daily peace. But even in this trial, I want to show you deep truths. I want to reveal parts of my character that can only be truly understood in the desert. It is not in comfort where trust grows the most, but in uncertainty where faith is truly tested. Cast your burden on me. Do not carry what I have already promised to bear for you. Stop trying to fix it all on your own. This is the truth I want you to grasp. I am the source from which all your provision comes. I am your shepherd, and you shall not lack. Even though the wait may feel long, I want you to understand that I am still working, even when you can't see it. Your role is to stand firm, strengthened by my power, and not to shut yourself off in fear or be overwhelmed by anxiety. Do not walk as if you have no hope, because my spirit is within you, and my hand is still leading your journey. keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Even when it seems like the heavens are closed, I promise you they are not. Everything you've sown in obedience and faith will be returned. Do not turn back now. You are closer than you think. I am bringing the answer you've been waiting for. But not only will I resolve the situation, I will also transform you through it. This is one of your final opportunities to completely surrender to me, to stop ignoring what I have been speaking to you in many different ways. Do not delay your complete surrender to me any longer. Stay here. Listen to my voice. Remain in my presence, and you will see a new path unfold before you. I am the one who makes a way in the sea and brings rivers to the desert. If you trust in me and stay close, what seems like destruction today will become a testimony. For I am the God who restores, the one who lifts the fallen from the dust, and the one who places a crown of glory on the head of the humbled. I promise you, you have suffered enough. Now prepare yourself, because the new is coming from my hand. Listen closely to what I want to reveal to you today. There are things your eyes have not seen yet, battles I've already won for you in the heavens, even if you cannot see the victory on earth yet. Sometimes, what takes time to come is not because it's being held back, but because I am preparing you to handle the blessing without it overwhelming you. What is coming is not small, it is glorious. But to receive it, your heart must be deeply rooted in me, not in your emotions, your plans, or your own strength. Hold in your heart that I am your defense and your strength. There is no place safe outside my protection. When you face resistance, and yes, it will come in different forms, do not respond with anxiety. Don't rush to find human solutions that will only add to your burdens. Instead, turn your spirit toward me, place all your trust in my help. I do not fail, and my help does not come too late. It is timely, it is certain, it is eternal. I have seen the courage within you. I know how many times you have wanted to give up, but you are still standing. That strength comes from me. However, the season you are facing calls for something deeper, no longer facing it alone. You were never meant to carry this weight without me. Even though you have learned to be strong through your pain, even though you have built courage from your suffering, today I tell you, you need my help. I am your support, your shield, your victory. If you try to move forward on your own, exhaustion will surely follow. And not just physical exhaustion, but a much more dangerous one, the weariness of the soul. That silent tiredness that sneaks into your thoughts, making you doubt everything, even the promises you once believed in with all your heart. A tired soul becomes an easy target for the enemy. He is patient, watching, not attacking when you are strong, but when your guard is down. If exhaustion takes hold of you, the desire to pull away from our connection will grow slowly, and with it, your focus will start to fade. The path that once seemed clear will become unclear, and you will begin to question if it's worth it, if I am truly listening, or if you have understood my will correctly. And if you don't stay alert and careful, you may stumble. Not because I have left you, but because you have let go of my hand. And by doing so, your balance becomes shaky. This is when those who oppose you, driven by darkness, will approach. They know the grace I have given you, and they see the favor that surrounds your life. This unsettles them. Their goal is to make you fall, not because of who you are on your own, but because of what you represent, a light shining in the darkness. That's why they attack you with lies, confusion, betrayal, doubts disguised as reason, painful words, and environments that weaken your faith. They are after your essence, that fire I have placed within you. But today, I want you to hear this truth straight from my mouth. No force can defeat you fully because I am with you. I am the one who fights for you. I am the one who stands up when everyone else turns away. I am the one who gives strength to those who have none. And even though there will be times when you feel like you're losing, I am actually repositioning you, preparing you, and strengthening you for something far greater. Do not lose heart, my dear. Do not act out of hurry when what you need most is to remain still. I will bring the answer. It will not be just any answer, but a divine turning point that will change your life in a way only I can do. But it will happen when I decide, in my perfect timing, not yours. That is why I ask you for patience and trust. It is in that trusting wait where true faith is shown, the kind that believes without needing to see, the kind that rests in my faithfulness, even when everything around you says otherwise. That kind of faith opens doors. That faith moves my hand. From my hand, you will experience extraordinary victories, not just visible successes, but wins that touch your soul. Deep peace and unshakable joy, eternal wisdom, clear sight. I do not give you what the world offers, which fades and is temporary. I give you what transforms your eternity. Stop worrying about the timing, the methods, or the obstacles. Just have faith. Look to me, not the problem. Listen to my voice more than the noise of your thoughts. I did not call you to live under the weight of anxiety. I called you to freedom, to fullness, to victory. Everything you need is in my presence. Come back to it again and again, no matter how you feel, because even when you do not understand, I am still your God. I am not moved by emotions. I am moved by truth. And the truth is this: you are in my plan, you are in my heart, and you are under my care. And though the enemy may shout at you, my voice is louder. Even if others turn their backs, I remain faithful. Even if everything around you seems to fall apart, my word stays the same. And my word over you is life, purpose, and restoration. You not be afraid. This time of breaking is not forever. It's only a season, and it is nearly over. You have suffered enough. Stand firm, for what I have prepared for you is more than you asked for, more than you dreamed of, and more than you can imagine. I have seen every step you've taken. Nothing escapes my notice, from the smallest thing that has affected your spirit to the struggles you keep inside, too private to share. I have witnessed how, in the middle of all the noise around you, the silence within you has sometimes been the most painful. The exhaustion that weighs down your soul is not hidden from me, nor the effort you make to keep standing, even when you feel broken inside. And no, feeling pain does not mean you are weak. On the contrary, you have withstood more than you realize. There have been paths closed before you, not because of a lack of faith or because of mistakes beyond repair, but because those paths were not in line with the highest purpose I have for you. You have wondered many times if you are going backward, if everything you've lived has been for nothing. And in that whirlwind of thoughts, you have sometimes felt as though your voice is unheard, as if your prayers hang in the air with no direction. But it has not been so. Every word you've spoken hath been written down, every tear you've shed has been collected, and every cry hath been heard. Although my answers may sometimes seem delayed, they have always been on their way to you. There are things your mind has yet to understand. Sometimes, you view the present through the lens of pain, which is why things appear distorted. You cannot see the purpose because you are judging it from the wound, not from the perspective of eternity. But I promise you, there is a bigger work being done, something much deeper that goes beyond the things you can see. A transformation is happening in the unseen, shaping you into someone who will never be the same. I'm not just interested in changing your circumstances, but in changing who you are on the inside. And that requires time, a process, surrender, consistency, and trust. I have allowed moments of silence so that you can recognize my voice above the rest. With so many opinions around you and so many outside expectations, it's important that you listen from your spirit, not from the pressure around you. I have not called you to live under the weight of others' judgments or the demands that are not from me. There are chains that aren't physical, but they bind you more than any prison could. Unnecessary guilt, comparison, fear of failure, and the need to prove your worth to people who will never recognize it. I am breaking those chains too. Every time you felt like you were going backward, you were actually being redirected. Not everything that breaks is a loss. There are things that need to be broken in order for something better to be born. What you thought was the end of a chapter was often just a course correction leading to a new beginning. Yes, the process is painful. No one wants to go through pruning. But it is in that pruning where what is unproductive is removed, where things that consume energy but do not bear fruit are cut away. Everything that has been taken from you has not been out of cruelty, but out of mercy. I am clearing the ground of your life so that what is new, eternal, and true can grow. Don't try to find human explanations for what can only be understood in the spirit. Some things may seem illogical according to natural reasoning, but they align perfectly with the design I am carrying out. The delays you faced have not been rejections, but preparations. In the right moment, everything will fall into place. I have been clearing your path of things you couldn't see, of influences that were clouding your judgment and affecting your ability to discern. I have worked in silence, without making big announcements, but with unwavering determination, because my desire is not for you to live a half-hearted life, but a full one, free and complete in truth and purpose. Do not feel condemned by the times you stumbled. Do not define yourself by your darkest seasons. Your worth is not in what you achieve, but in who has carried you through it all. The highest value has already been given to you, and nothing, and no one, can take that away. What many rejected in you, I have made holy. What others didn't understand, I am using to show my glory in ways you haven't yet imagined. Now, it's time for you to lift your eyes not to past mistakes, not to closed doors, not to things you don't understand, but to what lies ahead. And this is not about effort, but about rest, because you no longer need to prove anything. You no longer have to convince anyone, and you are not in a race for acceptance. What I have for you does not depend on your accomplishments, but on my faithfulness. Stay sensitive to what I am doing, even when it feels like nothing is happening. There are times when the fruits are not visible, but the roots are growing deep. Don't stop the process just because you don't see the results yet. Everything that is true takes time. Everything that is eternal is built in silence. And in the meantime, I am with you. Don't try to fight alone. Don't exhaust yourself trying to fix what only I can change. Remember, when you feel weak, it's not the end, it's a sign that it's time to stop carrying everything on your own. I am enough. My strength is available, not to those who pretend not to need it, but to those who recognize their need. There's no shame in asking for help. There's wisdom in seeking it where it truly exists. Even though the enemy has tried to confuse you, make you stumble, steal your peace, and fill your heart with doubt, he will not have the final say, because I have already planned your turning point. It will not be small or ordinary, but extraordinary, because I will not only change the course of your situation, I will make it clear that it was my hand at work. When that happens, you will realize it wasn't just about getting out of a problem, but about stepping into a new level of purpose. So, let go of the worry. Surrender it. Do not carry what I have already taken from you. There is nothing to fear when you truly know in whom you have placed your trust. And in that rest, in that surrender, you will start to see clearly what once seemed unclear. I will guide you step by step, with tenderness, strength, and faithfulness, because this is not the end. It is a part of the bigger plan. What is coming is greater, deeper, and more purposeful. Nothing has been wasted. Everything you've gone through has been part of the design. And although that design is often misunderstood, it has been shaped by my hands. There are times when the heaviest burdens aren't what you carry in your hands, but what is hidden deep in your heart. These are burdens that aren't physical, but they quietly wear down your hope. You felt this weight constantly, an unrest that sometimes you can't even put into words. It is not only the visible problems that drain you, but that inner tension that builds over time, the struggle between what you know I have promised and what has yet to happen. It's the space between the promise and the reality you see. I've seen how you've tried to hold it together in front of others, how you've chosen not to show how much it hurts, how hard the battle has been for you. But with me, there's no need to pretend. You don't have to appear strong before the one who knows you fully. I do not turn away from your vulnerability. I accept it with compassion. I do not despise your silence or your uncertainty. I understand them more deeply than you do. Where you see contradiction, I am weaving redemption. Where you see delay, I am working at the perfect pace. I am not asking you to be tireless. I don't expect you to have all the answers, nor for you to show unwavering faith every single day. What I ask of you is honesty, to come as you are, without layers, without masks, without pretending. Because when you come to me with an open heart, all that weight is lifted, and I can begin working in the places within you that you hadn't let me touch before. The restoration I offer is not just on the outside, it is complete. I'm not just interested in resolving your outward burdens, but in healing what has been broken inside. Don't mistake silence for indifference. There are times when I am silent, not because I am absent, but because I am working on a deeper level. When everything seems still, that is when I am arranging the pieces the most, moving things into place that you couldn't move by yourself. I have blocked opportunities that would have led you down the wrong path. I have closed doors that seemed like good chances, but would have quietly taken away your peace. I did this not out of harshness, but out of love, because I know the full path ahead. I see tomorrow as clearly as I see today. Not everything you desire is meant to be part of the path I've planned for you. Some things I allowed just so you could see on your own that they were not what you truly needed. There are prayers I haven't answered in the way you expected, not because I don't hear you, but because I love you enough to not give you something that would hold back the true purpose I have for you. What may seem like a loss isn't always one. Sometimes it's protection, a protection you won't fully understand until the storm has passed and you can look back with clear eyes. You are facing changes you didn't ask for, but they are necessary. I am guiding you down a path you hadn't thought about, because what I have for you doesn't look like what you've seen before. I am doing something new, and for that, you must let go of the old, not just externally, but in your thinking, in your expectations, and in how you view what you experience. I am renewing your understanding. I am teaching you to make wise choices, to recognize what is true, and to separate what will last from what is temporary. Do not hold on to what has already passed, just because it once brought you comfort. Sometimes, the hardest thing isn't letting go of what hurts, but letting go of what was good for a time but no longer belongs to the future. Do not fear the changes you cannot control. When I make changes, they always bring transformation on the inside, and that inner change is worth more than any external success. I am cleansing your perception, so you don't judge your life by the world's standards. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And no, I haven't left you exposed. Even if everything around you feels fragile, there is a shield over you that nothing can break. I am working, even when your emotions tell you otherwise. Do not depend on how you feel. Rest in what you know, and you know that I have been faithful. Even in the darkest days, there was enough light for you to keep going. Even when you didn't know what step to take, there was quiet guidance holding you. That wasn't by chance, it was my purpose. Every step has a reason. Nothing has been wasted. I have used the most unexpected things to shape what will help you endure the days ahead. I have taken your weaknesses and surrounded them with my strength. I have allowed certain wounds not to destroy you, but to make you more sensitive in places where you were once numb. There is a growth that only comes through pain. Not because suffering is my ultimate will, but because in the middle of it, you discover parts of the truth that you wouldn't search for in times of comfort. Your life is not a collection of failures, but of divine interventions. Not everything that turned out differently than you planned is a mistake. Some of those crooked paths have been redirected to fulfill my purpose, even though you might not see it yet. I am redeeming what you thought was lost, restoring what was broken when you didn't know how to fix it. I will do this without needing any explanations or approval from others. My work in you does not require human validation. What I start, I perfect, and I never abandon it halfway. I don't change my mind about you. This time, which may seem pointless to you, is full of details that I am carefully weaving together. Even though you can't yet see the full picture, trust that I am working with precision. What you call waiting, I call shaping. What you see as stagnation is actually depth, because I am not building something small, but something strong, and strong things take time. But when it is complete, it will not be moved by any storm. Keep moving forward, even if your steps are slow. You don't need to run, just keep going. I'm not waiting for perfection, I'm waiting for surrender. And that's what you are already giving. That is what pleases me, a heart that, though wounded, still believes, that, even without understanding everything, still trusts. My power has no end. This truth is deep inside you, even though life's storms may try to cloud it. I am the one who created you in your mother's womb, the one who has been with you, even when you felt alone. I've seen you fall, struggle, cry in secret, hiding your wounds from the world but never from me. Now, I speak to you with tenderness and the firm love of a father. You have suffered enough. I know how weary your soul has become. I have heard the sighs that you could not express, the thoughts that gather like dark clouds in your mind. But do not believe for a moment that you are forgotten or that your tears have fallen on empty ground. Every single tear has been collected, every one has been counted. Nothing you've gone through has been overlooked by me. Even when you felt that my silence meant I had abandoned you, you were still being held by me. I never stopped seeing you. I never stopped caring for you. I, the eternal God, have been with you every step, even in those steps you took with fear. I ask you to anchor your trust in me and hold on to calm patience. There is a set time for everything under heaven, and your time of restoration is coming. What you have lost was not an end, but a transition. What has hurt you was never meant to destroy you, but to reveal in you a strength you did not know you had. I have allowed certain things, not because I take pleasure in your pain, but because in my eternal wisdom, I am shaping a character in you that will endure future challenges, a heart that will find peace in the midst of chaos, and a faith that will stand firm, even when everything around you shakes. From the moment you truly opened your heart to me, my will began to work in your favor. Even when you could not see it, my angels were sent to protect you. Powerful forces have risen against the blessing I am preparing for you because the enemy knows the impact it will have on your life. That's why the battle has been so fierce, not because you are alone, but because what is coming is great. An unseen battle has been taking place, and you have been at its center. But do not fear, I am your shield, your stronghold, your safe place in times of trouble. I ask you not to let sadness take root in your heart. Do not make an agreement with pain. The enemy wants you to believe that this will last forever, that this is all you will have. But I tell you, that is not true. Stay away from the voices that weaken your faith, that pull you into hopelessness. Do not feed your thoughts with words that lack faith, nor with those who no longer see my power at work.